think I'll resize. Oh my god. I hate when I hate no 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 no. Oh, I hate when it does that. Stop. Do not. Do not. Okay. I'm gonna leave it as that. I'm just going to leave it as that and like not even risk it anymore. Cause it just might break stuff and I don't want that to happen, so yeah, we're not gonna do that. Okay, so in any case, yeah, uses stuff in the air. I want to keep this, so we're gonna select this and isolate it. I'm gonna write something on top of it like, can you read this? Yeah, can you read this? Because I can't. I mean, I have some guesses. I wrote it, but I was mostly doing. Brother, what are you doing? Okay. You know what? Whatever. Whatever, right? No! Can you tell that I've been on break for way too long and I've forgotten how to use, like, my main tool for school? Can you tell? If you say no, now you can. Better not say no again. In any case, yeah, there we go. Fuel. I'm gonna talk about fuel. Said the fuel was souls, right? I have a couple of things for this that I want to do.
Normally, these souls would come from microbes, plants, and animals that
Okay, microbes, souls, microbes, plants, and then animals. You can't imagine how happy I am right now. I've been feeling so down, but this is so great right now.
die in the area. So the more things die in that area, the more magic mages can use. So in a
Okay.
swamp where a lot
Whoa,
of
whoa,
things
whoa,
live,
whoa. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Normally. Normal source. Um, gonna do this. Not very good, but okay. Abundance of death equals more magic, more available magic. I have so many ideas, but I don't know how much I'll remember by the time I get there, which is why it's important to rewatch like the first thing that inspired you.
live and die. Mages have a lot of souls to use for fuel, but in a desert where there aren't a lot of living things in the first place, mages have nothing to use. Of course, you can always use your own soul as fuel, but your ability to control the ambient souls depend on the size of your own soul. You see, the older someone
Okay, okay. Yeah. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait, like I said, it makes me so happy. I don't know why I don't. Actually, I do know why I don't. I know why, but I really should do this more often. Like, not even as a joke type thing, genuinely. I don't actually know if it's still going, but if it is, awesome for me. Microbes, animals, abundance, etc. And then we know that souls grow with age, right? You can play with that as well.
gets, the bigger their soul becomes, and the easier it is to
Okay. I'm gonna, yeah, we're gonna talk about control. In control, we can include like collection as well. We can talk about collection later. Those grow with age. Growth facilitates collection and control. I should probably write those like to the side. And control. I've missed doing that. just like scribbling out my mistakes. I missed that.
Control the souls around them. So using your own soul as fuel to cast a spell weakens you significantly. It's like cutting
Yay. And then we have a big soul equals strong. Small soul, not so strong. That's not quite the take I want to take on this. Like this is that, but it's not because you're strong that you should. Anyways, we'll come back to that later.
off your arm so you can use it as a bat against someone. It's kinda stupid, unless you're in a pinch. You guys have asked me to draw a lot of witches.
Stop. Okay. You know what else we're gonna do? Check if my extension is still active. My ad block. I should. Who's inspecting? In any case, who's inspecting this? Nobody, right? Hopefully nobody. What else are we gonna do? We're gonna look for music to write to because I interesting to have music to write to. Wait, no, not this one. I'm gonna use a different page because I don't want this on my main account. Not my main, really. I just don't want it on that particular profile. It's gonna mess with my recommended, and I don't love that at all. I don't like that. Oh my god. What else are we gonna do? What else are we gonna do? And I actually like the fact that I made a thumbnail for this. I'm making progress. I'm making progress, man. Like before I would just go live and do whatever. I just saw recommended. Anyways, that's not what we're here for today. What we're here for today is music. Wait, I should probably add like copyright free before that. Copyright free music. Ooh. Royalty. I like that. I like the Pikachu. Yeah. Mm. Royalty free vlog music. Sure, we can use that. I think I've used it before. Oh, this is loud. This is quite loud, isn't it? 1 second. We will fix that in right this moment. Wow, still loud. Still loud if you ask me. I think this is mostly okay. Maybe. Not too sure though. Let me check. Whoa. You know how I check if my thing is too loud? I open the stream on a device. On a different device. It's recommending me my own stream. And I'm like, wow, okay, sir. Sure, whatever. Ooh, wow. 1 second. Checking the volume. Cause I'm doing this all on my own. On my own. So, ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between and outside. Yeah, this is way too loud. This is a bit too loud for my taste. I think this should be good though. Yeah. I don't know why you would be outside. Like, there's a roof. You can come in. Like, genuinely. Oh no. You can come in. Like, there's a roof, brother. Like, please. Don't embarrass me. Like... Oh, man. It's so low that it's not picking up on the music. Wait. I think my gate... my gate is too... My gate is bad. It's too powerful. You know what we're gonna do? Going to increase the volume and just like not mess with the gate. Okay, now I think this should be, yeah, this should be good. This should be good. So we're going to just like stop it now. Stop the stream watching and actually stream. You know, and you might be like, why didn't you fix this before? Because like I said, if I plan stuff, I'm never gonna do it. So, you know what I do instead? I just don't plan anything. I just do it. Like, literally, the Nike, what's it called? It's not verse. No, the saying. It's true. For a lot of people, what you need to do is just go ahead and do that. Like, that's all you need, really. In any case, we're back here. Wonderful. So, what we're doing is... we're just gonna open this right here. So at least know, like, if I accidentally show too much, I can unshow. I mean, not really unshow, it's just like... I can notice it not too late. Browser. Open this. Cancel. Interact. Start. X. Great, we have 69 minutes and 50 something seconds to do this. Wonderful, right? Oops. Well, how fun! I'm so happy to be here. Genuinely. In any case, what I wanted to talk about, right? We can start from the fuel. We know that the fuels was like microbes, plants, and animals. I'm going to state, basically, you know, just like state a conjecture. I don't actually know if I'm using that word right. The word conjecture? Conjecture? Conjecture. Conjecture? Let me Google that. No, I don't care. I know how to write it. That word. Conjecture. You know? Have that. I'm going to hypothesize that the size of your soul determines you know, it basically is proportional to your level of consciousness. Proportional to... whoa. This is not at all the order in which I thought of this. It's just the order in which I'm presenting it to you because it's the order in which it currently makes most sense. Proportional to level of consciousness. Conscience. Wow, I forget to spell conscious. Whoa. Consciousness. Level of consciousness. I feel like a kid, like, presenting my favorite thing to, like, my uncle or something. Being like, yes, this is the reason why this is the most amazing thing ever. In any case, I really like this. I really like just building in general. World building, magic building, character building, backstory build, anything at all. Lore, I love lore. I love hypothesizing on stuff. Any case, I'm here to present this to you. Like I said, right? We're talking here. Souls, this is the thing, right? The size of it, not your physical size. It can have an impact, but it won't necessarily always have an impact. In any case, right? Proportional to the level, not level, level of consciousness, thus colonies of microbes, right, are more powerful than one microbe And sometimes they fuse together, you know, like if you have two different species of microbes and you put them together. No. Can a virus and a bacteria make like a super virus or a super bacteria? I don't think so. Because you're like two different categories. It's like being like, can a cat and a fish like make a catfish? Again, that was not intentional. I find myself so funny sometimes. In any case, that catfish is not realistic. So it's kind of, I mean, is it unrealistic? I don't know. I haven't studied this in depth. In any case, and what's it called? There's a name. You know the when there's like one tree. Wait, that's the wrong way to draw a tree. You have a tree, and then it has like roots going elsewhere, and it's the same tree, but the soil is at this level, so it looks like three different trees, but it's actually a poplar, I think it's called, right? Poplars are better than like a forest, but a forest is better than like a collection of trees, like small collection of trees, right? It's like this is just a gradient of like souls and stuff, right? But it's like, speaking of this, right? Sometimes people take a piece of a tree and they send it somewhere else. Basically, they just like, it's the same DNA, you know. It's like they're the same thing genetically. It's just they don't belong to the same piece anymore. They grow as two different pieces, just very compatible pieces of soul, but they grow out as two different species, pieces of soul, right? And then for animals, I think, what's it called? If they have a hive mind, they can be, let's say, one big animal versus hive mind can be equal. Can be equal. I don't know, do this like that. Don't, oh my god. You know what? I'm just gonna let it be at this point. Because if I try to fight it, you know what it's gonna do? It's going to shrink my page again. And I don't want that. Maybe you want that, but I certainly don't. And thus we are here today to continue on our merry way. Speaking of, I just like scrolling like that. I know technically I could scroll differently, but I like scrolling like that. In any case, it is now here with this wonderful piece, you see. In any case, we're here to be here, and to be here, and to stay here. I wanted to say something about this. One big animal versus a hive mind. I'm thinking, like, you can overpower like a colony of microbes if it's not too big. Generally you can, right? But it's like the concept of familiars would be tied into it as well, right? I'm trying to tie that in. I don't actually like familiars all that much. I just think an animal is like, it's pretty sentient already. So I don't think you can overpower it. I know he talked about like dead things, but I'm just thinking we don't have to talk about always like that, right? If we're talking about microbes and plants, it's not that hard to kill a plant. Unless it's a really big plant, in which case it might be difficult, right? So, I can state another statement. Statement number 2. conjecture. I don't actually know if I'm using conjecture right, so I'm just gonna put slash statement. 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 Conjecture slash statement. Let me do something real quick. Oh no! Okay. This is all I wanted to do. Should I add tags? I think it's too late to think. Well, it's not too late really. It's my stream anyways. What else can we add? Building. Next stories. I don't think tags, stories. I don't think they matter as much on YouTube. What is interesting? Oh no, don't close my music. Okay. In any case, what was I saying before? I was saying something before. Where was it? Oh my god, I only have 60 minutes left. I have to hurry. Otherwise I won't have time to say everything I want to say. Conjecture, statement, size of soul proportional to that. Statement. That's statement number 1. Statement number 2. We can have a soul can be partially to fully what's it, skin graft slash acquired I want to make a distinction against graft. I want to make a distinction for these later. First things first, we have that basically you can it's easier to use it's easier to use like already dead souls. And then spell it like that just in case anyone's like, just in case, you know, anything comes by and anything happens, in which case I can say no, we're not talking about that, we're talking about something different, and you can't prove I'm not talking about that, basically. No, it's fine, I can probably change it, right? I'm gonna keep it like that though. I like the symmetry of this, even though it's not written how it should be, but it's fine, it's okay. Easier to use already dead souls. Right. Lingering. It can be something like they linger, right? Once the soul is dead, it has no consciousness. Basically, consciousness is tied to the state of the living. I'm just gonna add like a sub point. A consciousness is a state of the living. Brother, scroll. State of the living. Yeah. Woo. Consciousness is a state of the living. And then we have... what else do we have? What else do we have? Consciousness is a state of the living. Thus, already dead souls is easier to use. Thus, it's okay. And thus, point 2 is okay. Okay. So what do we have else? We have, yeah, to continue that, but it's easier to use the already dead souls, but on can use microbes, easiest, plants. It's like we can also add a clause of like it's easier to use dead souls, living, basically living. Easier to use dead souls because they tend to clump together better, whereas like living they can be clumped together, thus more resist more to your attempt, or individual, which does not provide a lot of fuel. Living microbes, plants to like moderate. One can use living microbes, plants, moderate, or small slash not very relatively weak, I think is the best way to phrase this. Relatively weak animals. I swear to you, this whole thing is like an exercise in focus because I have so many directions going on in my head right now. Right. I consider them to have consciousness, so they're gonna stay in like that. It's like hard. But humans and other like humanoid, because of course, you know, the human ego, is like, it's like if the potential for consciousness is similar to yours, you can't like overpower it unless it's dead. You can add a clause here. B, which is if the potential, basically any creature can use magic, right? If the potential for consciousness whether met or not, whether just to keep it from being like people using, I'm not gonna say it, but you know, people can be messed up in reality. What's stopping them from being messed up in fiction? Whether met or not is similar, I'm gonna call them casters, to the, this is why I'm writing, by the way, because typing would have been difficult. I forget words sometimes, forgive me. If you want. If you don't want to, I can't really stop you from not doing that. In any case, is similar to the casters. The energy the soul energy can only be harvested. Brother, scroll. Harvested in death. And then, just gonna add like a B1 clause. It's like, yes, this means, because I like that trope. It's not a trope, really. This means animals, and I don't think you understand how much this is like healing of my psyche for how many times I watched the shows with broken systems, and I'm like, oh my god, like this makes sense. Basing it, the original idea is not mine, right? Because I didn't think of this myself, but the expansion, I don't think it's fully mine. Like, I grew up in society, you know, I have some influences, but I'm not copying anything. Animals and other, I want to say subservient, but I mean, it's plants, man. subservient species. We're talking about plants and microbes, by the way. We're not talking about, like, I don't know. I mean, we're not talking about other humans. We're talking about plants and microbes. We specifically stated animals and other subservient species can use magic. I'm gonna add a in theory. Can in theory use magic. In any case, I have to go to places to get water, so I will come back soon. Enjoy the music while I'm gone. The timer is still going though. I'll be back in like... Actually, I should probably like do something. Let me try something. I'm still here, by the way. Oh no, this is not gonna work. It's fine, I'll be back. Hello, tis I hope I did not scare you too much. In any case, I couldn't stay away. I love this. I'm enjoying this too much. Also, I may be mildly destroying my workspace, but that's okay. It's fine. In theory, use magic, right? In any case, where were we? We were not too far along, really. We said... What did we say? We said... You can overpower them, but it's easier to use already dead souls. They tend to use... Lingering consciousness is a state of the living. This point 2 is okay! They can be partially or fully acquired / graft. It's like acquisition versus grafting. Graft? Is it how it's written? Let's go to Google. Google, the supreme overlord of the internet. The platform on which we are currently broadcasting this. First of all, what does conjecture mean? Conjecture meaning an opinion or conclusion. Yeah, okay, I use that well. And then we wanted to talk about skin graft or skin graft? Graft. Yeah, I wrote that completely wrong. I wrote it entirely wrong. That's not awesome. Just double check the meaning. So transplant living tissue. We're gonna... Sure, it's not living tissue. It's something. It's not tissue. But we're gonna... This anyways. Grafted. Yeah. Conjecture. I think it's said. Used a magic. A magic. Magic. I'm having so much fun. I really hope nobody IRL finds this. Like I said, I don't trust the people in my life at all. Sometimes. Like, sometimes I do, right? But other times, I'm like, I can't trust you. I don't trust you. Sorry to say. But you have not given me a good enough basis on which to trust you, because you don't do good for yourself. You don't do good for people you have known for almost decades at this point. So why should I expect you to do good for me, who you've known for 2 months? In any case, we're getting distracted and the time is passing, the clock is ticking. So let's go back to our business. To our business we go, to our business we go. Can only be harvested in death. This means animals and other subservient species can in theory use magic. Sometimes they do. I forgot where I was going with that. Thus, we're going to talk about acquired. What is this? I'm gonna talk about acquired. Whoa. Acquired. The dot is on the wrong one. Brother, stop. Again, still on the wrong one. Stop. Okay, there you go. Acquired versus grafted. Brother, erase. Grafted. This is probably the worst color. I keep writing it wrong. A grafted. This is probably the worst color to write on black with, but it's fine. Okay, acquisition, wrong color. I think I'm gonna use red for a grafted instead. And I have acquisition, which is the classical method. We're gonna call it the classical method. Like I said, I've thought about this a long time. Longer than you think. Much longer than you think. Acquisition versus forgive the cough. Grafts. Yes, acquisition versus grafts, and we can talk about this. We can talk about acquisition first. Acquisition, it's a very quick explanation. It's like its name says, where you basically use it. You use magic outside. Outside of thine. Damn. I don't know, fine, sure. Thine body. Use includes shaping, funneling, accumulation. What else can we include in this? We can include casting as well. It's all external. It's like that is all external, right? Grafting is similar, that it does these things, but does it? You've guessed it. Acquisition and grafting. Yeah, you guessed it. You do that. You do all of that internally. White. pencil. Internal. I have work to do after this. I have 2 things to work on, but I have so far worked on neither, even though they're both due. The one is due tomorrow, the other is due next Monday? Something like that. You know. In any case, I have stuff to work on, but I'm doing this instead because I've been sad and we're doing this right now. And this is fun. I really should do this more often in case the description was not clear enough. Crafting is internal. Basically, you channel magic. Magic through your body. There's a very specific, very shallow purpose for which I decided this, right? Well, is it very shallow? It's shallow. But is it very shallow? It is considered commonly shallow. Is it truly shallow? To be shallow or to not be shallow? Who knows? Ask the waters. Channel magic through your body. Basically, how it works is, you attach souls to yours. Then I don't need the then. Then take a piece of your soul, to cast. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like that. In case it's not making sense, right? It's like if you have soup, right? You have a soup, and then you add some water to your soup, then you mix it in real well. It's gonna be pretty difficult to like re-separate the same water you mixed in. It's practically impossible, right? Basically, that's what they do. Grafters. That's what grafters would do in this case, where they take a piece of like a clump, a cluster of souls, right? And they graft it onto theirs, and they get like a bigger soul, right? Yeah, they get a bigger soul. But then if they want to use magic, they don't have to, but they take a piece of their soul to cast. Yeah, basically. Just for magic. For magic. Now, downsides, you might be like, oh, then that's great. Downsides to that is that your soul is you, right? So basically, the more you dilute it, the less it's like you, basically. It's like if you have a set volume of soup. You add water, then you remove some newly diluted soup. The first time, the soup is pretty much the same, but like you keep adding and removing, you'll never fully be rid of the initial soup like traces, but on some level eventually you will have, if you keep going, like you add soup and then you remove soup, you add water and then you remove soup, you will never fully get rid of the original soup. However, eventually your soup will be less present, if that makes any sense, right? That's basically like what's happening, which is why it's not recommended. And the reason why I made the separation between grafters and acquisitioners, I haven't a good name yet, is because I'm like, if someone wanted to stay young forever, acquiring souls is like not great. It's like basically most people do acquisition, and like maybe they'll dabble a little bit in grafting. It's not illegal or anything. They'll dabble a little bit in grafting, but they don't do it like long term. Let's say you don't get to choose which part of yourself you lose, by the way. you don't necessarily realize it yourself. It's like growing up. You grow up, you don't realize you're growing up while you're growing up. Like, you can know it intellectually, you can think it to yourself, but you can only realize how much you've changed once you're past, like, you're past. Or, like, once you're passing it, and thus you're not fully in it anymore. I should write this down. Will I, though? I don't think so. I'll write some pieces of it down. So, we have grafting, which is like an internal process. Channel magic through your body, attach soul to yours, take a piece of your soul for magic. This is an hour in. I'm gonna stop the recording and restart it so I actually sort of know, like, what I'm talking about later. I wonder if I should make a proper video on this. So far, it's very interesting. Yeah, so the whole guiding premise of grafting is just like, what if a witch wanted to stay young? And like, witch, the title witch does not discriminate between genders at all, you know? The title witch is for everyone who is willing to cast a spell. A dog can be a witch if he casts or uses magic to change the color of his coat or something. I'm just saying. You know, a dog wanted to have, to regrow a tail because I don't know, a genetic defect or maybe something more tragic happened to it and it wanted a tail. It can grow a tail, you know? Stuff like that. I could go into much more details to be like, oh, human or humanoid magic can affect internal changes as well as external changes, and you know, less humanoid magic means that like you have less control on external factors. Basically, a human could, in theory, affect the weather, you know, long term, but a dog might not be able to because it just lacks that level of consciousness. But that's like getting into so much detail. I'll never end if I start going there. So we're not gonna go there today. I might go there some other day though. You know. Take a piece of your soul for magic. Basically diluting it with every added / removed portion. I'm just gonna add a note to myself, kind of. Think of soup plus 2 bowls of water, and then you dilute. I'm gonna call this A, B, to homogeneity, to soup minus 2 bowls. Soup does not equal soup in A does not equal I'm gonna be like approximately, but does not equal soup in A. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Just like that, yes. And then what else did we do? What else did we do? There was something else I wanted to mention before I forgot. Yeah, okay. Why not point? I'm gonna call it like point A. Why not graft indefinite amounts? Finite amounts will of souls to be used later. I'm gonna say like in one, immortal beings, because I really like, there's another concept I really love, which is like immortal elves doing the most time consuming things ever, and also having fairies that are also immortal, but where elves will seek every single experience they can get, right, that consumes time. Fairies are more about imitating life, right? Just like fairies like to have fun, but do they only like fun? Kinda, yeah. Whereas elves are like, yeah, I'll take anything I can get as long as like I get to spend time, man, because there's so much of it. Immortal being it's very loosely used here. It's just like once you live past 1,000 years, yeah, you're in the realm of immortal. If you live around 1,000 years, you're like semi-immortal or something. It's like immortal. It means you may not die if you're just waiting to age to die. You know? Immortal beings may implode. Explode? I feel like explode is more like explicit than implode. May explode from you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back here. Immortal beings. It may explode from too heavy soul. You know, basically collapse if there's too much, but there's usually signs, and like but before that, before that, what happens before that? What happens before that is that I had an idea. It keeps escaping me, but it's gonna come back. Trust in me. Trust. Heavy soul. But before that, the soul tries to like lose pieces of itself, so you might like shed. But if you hold on to it too tightly, it might like explode. It's like soul will try to shed. Basically, leave pieces of itself behind. And of course the music goes out low when I try to aim high. Basically leave pieces of itself everywhere. So the more you collect, the more it loses. But like if you hold on too tightly, everywhere until safety. The amount safety weight, which is why like most people can't collect too much, and it's like grafting is very good, right? It's not bad, it's risky if you don't know what to do. It's like acquisition, everything you do is external. So like if you're acquiring something like in a crystal and the crystal breaks and then the souls are released, you know, that's that. Maybe you lost like a very expensive crystal and a lot of time was wasted, but at least you're not like insta death. You know, at least there's not like that. In the context of the story, of course. You know. No, graft indefinite amounts. Souls to be used later. Something else? Was there something else? For that. I kind of want to put this as like And I forget. I don't want to talk about immortal beings today. I'm getting tired. I'm so tired sometimes. What was I gonna be? What is gonna be? What was I going to write? What was this sentence going to be? What was that gonna be? Beings. I think I was supposed to write beings. Consciousness. Rigidity. Rigidity. Consciousness rigidity may reduce the amount of souls of soul one can hold, but it is less likely to collapse unless the quota is severely overdone. What's it called? What's the word? Outdone. I'm gonna put outdone so far, just for now. Malleability. I'm gonna call it flexibility. I'm gonna call it C flexibility. Flexibility. Less likely to collapse if limit is severely surpassed, but may leak on the regular. Sure. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we have defined we have thoroughly defined acquisition and grafting. Let's take this again. We have thoroughly defined grafting and not so thoroughly defined acquisition, because acquisition is just the safer option, the most common option. I'm just gonna add like most common method. Less common is more powerful. Less common, but more powerful. I'm enjoying this too much, but I like it. This is very fun. I should do this more often. I really should. Okay, what else are we going to do? What else are we doing? We have... I can't believe I actually had like 3 viewers at one point. 3 views? Oh. Hello. This is the first person I've seen. SOD4. Oh my god. Nice to meet you. Can we be friends? I mean, maybe. Maybe we could be friends. Can I write in my own chat? Maybe. Depends on... Maybe, but I'm open to it. Maybe, but I'm open to it. It's nice to meet you, SOD4. Soda Pop Doggo. Oh my god! I understand. I read it. I read it. When was this? When was this chat? I really should figure out like how to make chat appear on OBS. Stop. How to see chat history. Whoa. No, wait. How do I find info? I don't know. I'm so new to this. I am so new to this. When was this? I can't see a thing. I can't see a thing. No. I'd say come back, but okay. In any case, we have a couple of things to do. How long ago was this? I am so perplexed. This has never happened before. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so nice. I hope to see you again, Soda Pop Doggo. You seem like a nice person. I hope you're a nice person. I believe you're a nice person. Unless you tell me otherwise. But if you don't tell me you're a bad person, I'll believe you're a good person. In any case, how much time do we have left? We have 20 minutes left to figure all of this out. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to not be talking to myself for once. Wow. Yeah, this is so interesting to me. Okay, anyways, back to what I was saying. What was I saying? What was I saying? My first ever chatter. I am without words. I am very much without words. I am speechless, is the word I was looking for. In any case, why not graph indefinite amount of souls to be used later? Beings may explode from too heavy soul, collapse. But before that, soul will say, try to sled. Shed. We can do that. And then flexibility, less likely to collapse if the limit is severely surpassed, but may leak on the regular. What else do we have? What else do we have? I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about as well. You see, people, this is how little it takes to make me speechless. Be nice to me. That's all it takes, and I will be without words. I won't know what to say. Just be polite. Genuinely. Maybe I should rewatch the video? I don't know. No, I took notes. So 1 second. Find my notes again. And then I'm gonna find out that it was like 30 minutes ago. And I'm gonna be like, oh my god. Oh no. Oh my god. How long ago was this? No, this was not at the beginning. No, this has been here. I don't know how long. It's fine. We have 18 more minutes or something like that to finish all of this. Yeah, no, 17 minutes. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna do our best. We're going to do our best. And I might schedule a part 2 to this, depending on how tired I am. But yeah. If the potential for consciousness, whether or not, is similar to the casters, the soul energy can only be harvested in death. Yes, this means animal, often subservient species, can in theory use magic. I think I skipped a few steps, but that's probably fine. You know, fill the gaps in with your own imagination. The same way I'm doing now. And then we have the size of soul. The size of soul is proportional to the level of consciousness. Colonies of microbes. One microbe. Poplars, forest, collection of trees. Small collection of trees, one big animal. I forget where I was going with this. I forget, but it's okay. I swear to you, it's probably fine. To the level of consciousness. Where was I going with this? I think I'll just go back to this, yeah? See what I wrote here. This is why it's important to take notes. A big soul equals strong soul. Okay, I can write about the reason why. I can talk about sometimes it's regarded as no, this is like the worst color to pick. Grafting. Sometimes this is like way too big compared to this, but it's fine. Sometimes regarded as shallow due to historical figures using it almost exclusively to stay young looking. And you know what else we're gonna say? We're going to zoom in. Actually, let me reduce, reuse, recycle. They're not really. I'm just going to reduce over here. Reduce this, move it over there, and then we're going to scroll inwards, do this, scroll inwards, do this. I'm gonna be like, hello, it's me, your friend, who's been gone a while. Okay, sometimes regarded as shallow due to the historical figures using it almost exclusively to stay young looking. Yeah, okay, why it doesn't work indefinitely, which I guess I'm kind of doing a thing about immortal beings. No, not today. Why it can't be used to stay young. Forever. The soup loses its side. The soup loses its identity. Identity. Woohoo! The soup loses its identity. And then we have what else do we have? The soup loses its identity. What else happens? Yeah, wait. If the soup loses its identity, then the soul becomes more flexible. Basically, everything reaches towards entropy. I knew you would get that. Obviously, you know, the answer is so obvious. Physics, hard. Whoever said that? Right? It's totally physics, right? I'm totally not tripping. No. I have it completely right. I'm such a genius. I'm so good at this, really. I should stop. The soup loses its identity. The soul becomes more flexible. Thus, thus releases more pieces of itself. Randomly. I want to link this to a different part that I wrote down here, I think. Which was like 4-1. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, like A, B, C. C4C. C4C. Haha. It rhymes. It rhymes. That is so fun. That is so fun, right? It rhymes. C4C. What else do we do? How much time do I have left? 10 minutes! Oh no! The soup loses its identity. The soul becomes more flexible, thus releases more pieces of itself randomly. I'd probably write this. And, eventually dissipates. Eventually dissipates. Eventually dissipates. Right? And then what else happens? What else happens? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about how to reduce, reuse, recycle. I should stop that. Reduce the effects. Minimize. Minimize is the word I was looking for. Minimize. You know, we often say reduce, reuse, recycle, but it doesn't really work when you put it in the right place and you pay the right amount of money, but the people who make the choices don't care. And sometimes they do care, but then the person they pay to take care of it don't care. So you reduce and you reuse and you recycle, but the recycle doesn't happen because somebody decided the recycling was not worth it. Hopefully that wasn't you. If it was, I mean, at least try to do the other two. I mean, if you don't, I can't really stop you. How to minimize the effects of this, right? I focus so well. I focus oh so well. I focus so well. There's 9 minutes left, right? How to minimize the effects of this. Yeah. How to minimize the effects of this. What else do we... Wait. How to minimize the effects of what? Oh yeah. Of the soul becoming more flexible. Reinforce identity. Reinforce identity. And then what else do we do? What else we do is basically just see grounding methods, but also like personality things, which is such a great segue, but we're not there yet. We still have like 8 minutes left. Reinforce identity. Reinforce identity. Reinforce identity. Reinforce identity regularly. The sheep loses its identity, the soul becomes more flexible, thus releases more pieces of itself randomly, eventually dissipates. Minimize effects of this. Reinforce identity regularly. So, to gain To gain rigidity. To gain / maintain rigidity. Maintain. I don't think I wrote that right. That word never looks right to me. Rigidity. Rigidity. Right? And this is so great. And this is so great. I'm doing so well. Acquisition. Most common method. Use magic outside of thine body. Shaping, accumulation, funnel, and casting, etc. Accumulation done via what's the mediums, right? Via mediums. Usually physical. Sometimes spatial, like aka I'm thinking in the lines of like Wakfu, if anyone's familiar with that. It's like that show where if you combine two portals you can make like a portal beam, and I'm like, we can use that and basically make a I think it could work. You know, that's the whole motive I've been running on this whole time. Done via mediums, usually physical, sometimes spatial, aka I forget the name. Sometimes spatial or otherwise. Okay, what else do we need? Yeah, we wanted to talk about casting methods. Casting with acquisition. You know, just casting in general. Casting, you know what I really enjoy? You know those non-traditional spells? This is very much detached from the Ronilustiverse at this point, right? Because it's like, it's not talking about souls anymore, it's just like casting methods. There's like a thing I read once where the casting method was very not traditional, whereas it wasn't like wave a wand and, well, I guess it could be traditional in some sense. It's not like wave a wand, say a spell, or like wave your hands, say a spell, or like draw something, say a spell. It was like a rhythm sort of thing, you know? And it could also be something like a ceremony, but I'm not talking about like draw a thing on the ground and dance around like candles. I'm talking like you're brewing tea in a specific way that it's like it's a spell. You know? I like that. I really like that concept. I don't remember exactly where I found it, but it stuck with me because I like that idea. Casting? Again, we're just gonna call it like tea brewing. Oh no. You might not know, but I'll know what I'm talking about. Tea brewing. Circles / runes / writing. Ah! Sorry for the unexpected ASMR. Writing, and then we have what else do we have? We have tea brewing, circles, writing, and we have like, of course, like spoken word / gestures, right? Stuff like that. It's like, although gestures kind of ties into that, tea brewing / like ceremonial, though not ritualistic, you know, it's like though not ritualistic. Yeah, I think that's good. casting, and then we can talk about like mediums and stuff. Let's talk about mediums for a second. Mediums! Woohoo! Mediums. What can we say about mediums? We can have physical mediums. You can have like yourself, your soul. You can have your hands, right? Kind of like Bakugo do. Bleh. Wow. I'm gonna be like Bakugo. Bleh? What? I was gonna be like Bakugo Dori. What is Bakugo Dori? In any case, your hands, like Bakugo does, even though his hands are not really the focus of the thing. Your hands, right? Which is like what most people use. Most adults. I'm gonna say most like professionals. Most professionals. Or maybe like instead of actually no. I want to say most people use hands, right? Most people use hands, and then like something like a stick. A stick. Or I also saw a jewel once. A jewel. Jewel. Other object. It would be like for most professionals. It'd be like most. Bro, I'm pretty sure I went over time. Oh no, I am still within time. Professionals. I'm still within time. What a miracle. I have 3 seconds left. But I don't really care. Isn't it so fun that it tells me like what's up now? You know, like the time's up, basically. Yeah, we're gonna stop here for today because I have work to do, and if I keep going, like the purpose of this isn't really to limit your interaction, is mostly to limit my time spent here, because I could spend all day here and not even realize until it's like the sun is rising again and I'm like, oh no, I spent too long and I have to do my work. So yeah, we're not gonna stress ourselves out, and we are going to yeah, I'm going to be I'm done for today. It was very nice meeting you. Bye bye. For now, we will say bye bye to this.